This is the William Experiment Podcast. My name is William, a man with a microphone discussing things on Earth and beyond. Please follow and subscribe. You know, there are a lot of fascinating things on Earth and in the universe. One of the things on Earth I find interesting is people in their cars. On any given day in America, there's 28 million cars and trucks on the road. The very first car produced was in 1886 by a guy named Carl Benz. It was a three-wheeled vehicle with a top speed of 16 kilometers per hour or 11 miles per hour. It was unveiled to the public in 1886, July 3rd. That changed the game for everybody. I'm sure he had no idea what he had released onto the world. I mean, look at today, all the cars and trucks and other vehicles that we have to get around. This all started with that first car in 1886. Another car I want to talk to you about is the Ford Model T. This car was first released in 1908, had a four-cylinder, top speed of about 64 to 72 kilometers per hour or 40 to 45 miles per hour. T was the first mass-produced car in America, and from 1920 to 1926, it assessed for 47% of all cars sold in America. But the thing is, history shows that cars use a lot of gas, and we get gas from the earth. Back then in the early 1900s, we did have the technology for electric vehicles. In 1932, a guy named Robert Anderson is credited for building the first electric car. In 2021, we have over 160 brands of cars. The coolest cars on the market today is the Tesla Roadster. This car was unveiled in 2017 and goes 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. The top speed is 250 miles an hour, and the price tag on this baby is $200,000. It's self-driving, all-wheel, doors open with a finger swipe. Designed by Elon Musk and Tesla, and Elon, he sent one of the Tesla Roadsters in space in 2018 on the Falcon Heavy rocket. In the driver's seat of the car is a mannequin dressed in a spacesuit named Starman. This is the William Experiment Podcast. Apps online and ways to follow this car. You can even see it with your telescope if you're lucky. I'll talk to you about some facts about roads, highways, and traffic lights. The American highway system stretches over 47,000 miles long. The longest is I-90 between Seattle and Boston, stretching over 3,000 miles. In 1926, Route 66 was first constructed and is one of the oldest highway systems in America. The first speeding ticket ever issued was in 1902. If you drive to the moon at 60 miles an hour, it would take 1 month. The inventor of cruise control was blind. An average car has 1,000 parts, and 95% of a car's life is parked. That's a little bit of knowledge about cars, roads, and highways. It's interesting how we've advanced through history and came to where we are. Basically, we crawled out of the caves and look at us now, and how people choose to get around. Some people walk, ride a bike, ride motorcycles, drive cars. So many different makes, models, brands of cars. People love their cars, put a lot of time, money, effort, passion into their cars. The car reflects a person. I've never owned a car. I turned 50 in August, and I've never owned a car, so I don't know what that says about me. I have anxiety, and I was in a car accident one time, and it really messed with my head and gave me anxiety about getting in a car, so I dealt with that for years. But then I started looking at the science behind cars and the damage that it does to air pollution. I'm not sure if I even want to own a car anymore. This is the William Experiment Podcast. This is the last episode of the 5-season show of the first season of the William Experiment Podcast. So thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it. Download and follow, subscribe. Season 2 goes. I'm looking to release this September 1st, and it will have more content, more interesting subject matter. I'm going to work on getting guests, special guests, do interviews. Stay tuned for Season 2 of the William Experiment Podcast, coming September 1st. William Experiment Podcast, episodes now playing on Spotify and YouTube.